Hi, I'm Katie.
I'm David.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jack.
And together we are CMU Saves the Stages.
First, we wanted to say a huge thank you for going live with us tonight. We wanted to give you a quick introduction before we get started.
We created this event for our RPL 430 class, where we were tasked with creating and producing a virtual event. We felt that with the restrictions against concerts and all other forms of live entertainment right now, many people are missing the experience of attending a live show.
So, we created CMU Saves the Stages, a 2-night virtual music festival that includes yoga, music, and an art showcase. Our name CMU Saves the Stages is inspired by our partnered charities campaign, Save Our Stages. Save Our Stages is a nonprofit that is working to support independently owned venues nationwide that are currently experiencing catastrophic loss in revenue.
For more information on Save Our Stages and how to donate, click the first link in the description box below.
We will be responding in chat and posting on social media throughout the show. So if you haven't followed us already, make sure to follow us at CMU Saves the Stages on Instagram and at CMU Saves Stages on Twitter.
We would also like to thank our sponsors who made this event possible. We would like to give a huge thank you to our superior sponsors, Dagwood's Auto Repair, Isabella Bank, and the Bird Bar and Grill, our stellar sponsors, Copy Corner and Muskegon Yoga, and finally, our serene sponsors, CNO Sportswear. Without your help, this event would not have been possible.
Woo! Let's get tonight started. First up, we have a general vinyasa flow class from Muskegon Yoga.
Hi yogis, I'm Christine Mast and I have the honor today of guiding you through a short yoga class, vinyasa style, which just means a flow style class. So if you're new to yoga, no worries. I'll give some directions that should be really easy to follow and just do what you can. So if you feel like you need a break or a rest, go ahead and take that. We're going to go ahead and get started in a position called Sukhasana, or easy seat. So come to your mat and just cross the legs, come to a comfortable seated position. Take a couple of moments to just settle into stillness. So that might take a little bit of shifting or a little bit of movement so that we can rid ourselves of that fidgetiness. And then again, eventually we want to just kind of guide our body into stillness. Take a minute to really feel the connection between the sits bones and the earth, the two bones right underneath us that connect to earth or the mat or the floor. And from this place of groundedness, as we ground there, we find this opposing energy in the body, this lift, this rise. So we ground through the sitting bones as the belly lifts. We get nice and tall through the spine, all the way through the crown of the head. Open the heart just a bit. The easiest way to think about doing this is rolling the shoulder blades in just a touch behind you. And that should broaden the collarbones, open the heart. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. So especially if you've noticed that they've crept up a little bit, just let them ease and let the tension just melt away. And then bring your attention to the breath. We'll start by putting some intentional energy into our breath. So we'll take a big full inhale, really fill up. Pause at the top of the inhale without gripping, without squeezing that breath. And then open the mouth and exhale. Do that 2 more times. Take a big full breath in. Feel the expansion of the low belly, side ribs, chest, all the way up through the crown of the head. Pause without gripping and squeezing. Open the mouth and exhale. Once more, full breath in. Pause at the top. Open the mouth and audibly exhale. Let that exhale be just as long as the in-breath. Squeeze that stale air out at the very bottom. Beautiful. And now we're going to come into just a yogic breath that's called Ujjayi breath. So just close the mouth and you're really doing the exact same breath you were doing, only with the mouth closed. So you'll be inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And on the exhale, you're going to just close off the back of the throat just a little bit. So just restricting the back of the throat a bit, creating kind of an audible sound. It's an internal audible sound. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose, constricting the back of the throat. It kind of sounds like ocean waves within you, right? Kind of rolling in and out. And that's what's happening with our prana, our breath, just kind of coming in and out. We want to try to keep this yogic Ujjayi breath with us throughout the whole practice. It'll probably kind of run away from you here and there. It's no big deal. Just take note of it and just anchor back to it when you notice that happening. This breath keeps us focused, keeps our attention here in the present moment, and helps just let the body know we're calm, we're safe, we're fine. Beautiful. If you haven't already, go ahead and close the eyes. This just helps us to kind of take that inward spin, leaving all of the garbage outside of us, right? Bring the awareness in. If you feel uncomfortable closing the eyes, no big deal. You can just gaze straight out in front of you, kind of a gazeless gaze, so you're kind of looking without seeing. Nice. Flutter the eyes opened on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And with your exhale, take a twist to the right. The right hand will come behind the shoulder or the hip, and the left hand will come to the outside of the right knee. Now you may have found a tendency to round or collapse here. Fix that. Get nice and tall. Stay nice and tall through the torso. Your gaze can come out over that right shoulder. Stay for your exhale, and with your next inhale, reach the arms tall overhead once again. And on your exhale, take that same twist to the left. The right hand comes to the outside of that left knee, and the left hand comes behind the hip. Nice and tall through the torso. Drishti is over that left shoulder. Drishti just means gaze in yoga. It's the direction of your gaze. Beautiful. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And on your exhale, you're just going to come up and over your knees. Bring the hands out in front of you, and we'll come to all fours. This is called tabletop position, or the fancy word Varmanasana. So in this pose, we want to really spread out the fingers, get a nice foundation. We want the shoulders right over the wrists and the hips over the knees. The spine is neutral, tail reaching back, crown reaching forward. And then we're going to begin to take movement. We're going to move with our breath. So we want to link that all together. So inhale, lift the gaze, reach the heart forward and sink the belly. On your exhale, round through the spine, push into the earth, bring the chin to the chest. Vrajayasana or cat pose. Inhale, lift the gaze, reach the heart forward, sink the belly. And exhale, chin to chest, push into the earth. round through the spine, and just continue. Take 3 or 4 more cycles of this cow and cat, linking our breath to the movement. So our breath is long, slow, and deep. Therefore, our movement will also be pretty slow to match that deep, slow breath. Do one more. And then return to that neutral spine. Crown reaching forward, tail reaching back. And then bring the big toes to touch, open the knees, and sit back the bottom onto the heels. You can stretch the arms out long and bring the forehead or chin to the mat. This is child's pose, Varmanasana. You can come to this pose anytime you need to slow the breath or need a little bit of a break. So this is child's pose. If you're really tight in the hips, you might find that you're up really high like this. So just see if you can soften the glutes down towards the heels. And if you can't, you might need to come up a little bit higher, maybe stacking the fists and then resting the forehead onto the fists. And this will give you a little more space in the body if you're tight through the hips, no worries. And then just go ahead and lift the torso, bring the knees together. So we're sitting on the heels, and we're just gonna reach the arms up overhead, lift the gaze, and on an exhale, bring hands to heart center. We call this Anjali Mudra. You can close the eyes once again, and take a moment to set an intention for your practice. An intention is just something that, again, keeps us very focused so that the mind doesn't start traveling all over the place. So it could be something as simple as a color or a word or a phrase. It can be the breath, just focusing on the rise and fall of the belly, or maybe you choose something a little meatier. Maybe it's flexibility of body and mind. Maybe it's strength. Maybe it's walking into your power. Maybe being a bit more compassionate and open to other ideas. You choose. This practice is about you. It's this intention that makes yoga different than exercise. It's so much more than just poses and postures. So carry that intention along with the breath with you as we move. So from here, we're going to make our way to tabletop once more. So plant the hands out. You're going to extend the left leg straight down the mat, come to the toes, and then just begin to shift the weight to the right side. So to that right hand and the right knee. You're going to stack the left side body on top of the right, coming to a modified side plank here. So we'll show you all different places you can go. You might stay right here or you may add on. Notice that my shoulder is right over my wrist. We want to make sure that we have that stacked appropriately. So maybe you reach the left fingertips straight up towards the ceiling. Maybe you float the left leg so that it comes hip height. These are, again, just suggestions and options. Flex the foot on that floating leg if you float, if it's lifted. And then go ahead and bend that left knee, reach for the foot or ankle. Push that foot into the hand and open an arch. Maybe you lift the gaze up over that left shoulder. Now don't worry if you fall in and out. There's a lot of balancing going on here as well as strength. So even though we look pretty still maybe, there's a lot of work to this balancing. Release the bind without snapping the foot, but nice and controlled, and extend the leg back and the fingertips tall again. Fill up with an inhale, and on your exhale, set the left hand down next to the right and the left knee next to the right knee. Inhale, lift the gaze, reach the heart forward and sink the belly, and exhale, bring the chin to the chest as you round. and then return to a neutral spine. We're going to do that same thing on the opposite side. So you're going to just extend the right leg straight, coming to the toes, and then just begin to shift the weight to that left side. Right hand can start out along the right side body, but once you steady your balance, maybe you reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe you float the right foot. Flex the foot, that'll give you a little more stability. Then you can play around with that left shin, right? So if it's angled out, you'll have a little more stability. If you line it up, then it's a little bit trickier. So play around. Bend the right knee, reach for the foot or ankle, and then maybe push that foot into the right hand as you open an arch through the chest. Maybe the gaze can look at that right shoulder. Again, I know it's a lot of work. Don't worry if you fall in and out. Just notice what happens in the inner world. Try to keep it positive. Chuckle a little if you fall out because it's funny. Inhale, release the bind, extend the leg long, fingertips tall. And on your exhale, reset the right hand next to the left and the right knee next to the left knee. Inhale, lift the gaze, reach the heart forward, sink the belly, and exhale, bring the chin into the chest as you round. Come back to that neutral spine, move the hands out just a bit, curl the toes under, lift the hips. You're going to come to down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So the feet here are hip distance apart. We want a nice solid foundation. So spread the fingers wide again, webbing down between the thumb and the index finger, and feel the earth beneath the palms as well as the feet. So all four corners of the feet are grounding, big toe, pinky toe, inner outer heel. Now, I do yoga every day. I have pretty long hamstrings, so you might be like this if you have shorter hamstrings. No worries. Don't worry about it, right? You're just sending energy out through the heels, and you're reaching the heels in the direction of the floor, the earth, the mat, right? So we'll all be at different spaces. Don't worry if the heels don't touch the mat. And then walk the hands to the feet. We're going to come to a forward fold, Uttanasana, right? Just let the upper body hang heavy. Oftentimes I'll see people lift the gaze here and have a lot of crinkles in the back of their neck. But we want to just release the head and neck so that the crown is reaching towards the earth. The bottom body is very strong here, very engaged. So again, rooting through the four corners of the feet, strong, engaged, plugged in legs. Think about the kneecaps lifting up towards the hips. Tail is reaching high. You're going to inhale, come part way up. Just bring the hands up the shins, reach the crown to the front of the room. So we're coming just halfway up, getting a flat back, getting really long in the spine. Fill with an inhale, and with your exhale, forward fold again, taking that length with you. So maybe you're a little longer this time. Walk the hands to the right. Maybe you reach for the right heel with the left hand. You can bring the right hand to the right hip and the gaze out over the right shoulder. So adding a twist as well as balance. Now if this feels okay, consider reaching the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Take another breath in to deepen into the twist, and with the exhale, lower the hand, walk the hands through center and then off to the left. You'll reach for that left ankle with the right hand, and again, you might be reaching for the shin or just in that direction. If you're tighter, you can bring that left hand to the hip and the gaze out over that left shoulder. You might have a bend in the knees, whatever you need to do here. And then maybe you reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale as you twist a bit deeper. And on the exhale, lower the left hand, coming back to that forward fold. Inhale, come partway up, reach the crown of the head to the front of the mat, shoulders back towards the waist. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up. Fingertips reach towards the sky. And with your exhale, take a forward fold. Nice and slow, no hurry. Inhale, come partway up. Crown reaches to the front of the room. And exhale, forward fold into Uttanasana. Walk the hands back out to the front of the mat. So we're coming back to our down dog, Adho Mukha Uttanasana. And then inhale the right leg back. On the exhale, step the right foot between the hands. You'll drop the left knee. Reach the heart forward, uncurl the toes on the back foot. And when you're stable, rise up. Bring the hands to the top of that right thigh as you steady your balance. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. On the exhale, take an open arm twist to the right. Right fingertips will reach back, left fingertips forward. Maybe the gaze follows the right fingertips. And then inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky or ceiling. On the exhale, plant the hands around the right foot. Curl the toes under on the left foot and lift that left knee off the mat. Step the left foot to match the right and take a fold. Inhale, partway up again. Remember, we're trying to get really long in the spine when we do this, and with the exhale, we take that length with us. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up. And exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, come partway up, crown reaches. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Left foot matches, we're in plank pose. Balakasana. So we're one straight line of energy here. Heels reach back, heart forward, shoulders over those wrists, strong straight arms, right? So if your booty is up in the air, see if you can bring your shoulders over the wrists and drop the booty a bit. If you're caving or sinking in the middle, push into those hands so that we are just that one straight line of energy. If this is too much, just lower to the knees. Same work. And then from here, on your next inhale, lift the hips high, come back to your down dog. Take a moment and pedal out the feet, bend one knee and then the other. Then we'll move to that opposite side. So inhale the left leg back. On the exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Help it up there if you need to. You'll drop the right knee. Just steady yourself, uncurl the toes, and as you're ready, rise up. This is a modified low lunge. Good. Inhale, reach through the fingertips. On the exhale, open arm twist to the left. Left fingertips reach back, right fingertips forward. We'll inhale, reach the arms tall. And exhale, plant the hands back down. You'll curl the toes under on that right foot and lift the right knee up off the mat. Step the right foot to match the left and take your forward fold. Inhale, part way up, shoulders back, crown forward. Exhale, fold all the way into Uttanasana. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up, palms touch. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Good. From here, we're going to step into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. So the right foot stays right where it's at. The left foot is going to step all the way to the back of the mat. And it's going to come parallel to the back of the mat. So we've got a big wide stance. Bend the right knee, so the right knee is over the right ankle, and really take up space on your mat. Again, left foot is parallel, left leg strong and straight, and then reach the arms out. We want the arms shoulder height and our drishti, our gaze, to be out over that middle finger. This is a hip opening pose, so we're really trying to roll those upper thighs out, externally rotating those thighs. And keep breathing that nice, long, slow, deep Ujjayi breath. Good. Keep the low body exactly as it is. Flip the right palm over, lower the left hand down that outside of the left leg, and reach the right fingertips up and over. Again, the low body doesn't change at all, so it's in that really strong warrior two stance. This is reverse warrior. Long, slow, deep Ujjayi breath. Stay for your exhale. And with your next inhale, you'll come back to warrior two. Beautiful. We're going to straighten the right leg, shift the right fingertips to the front of the room. That left hip will shift back, and then tilt the right hip down. Right hand can come to the mat, or if you have a block, you can put that hand on a block. Left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good. So it's really important, if you find that your chest is pointing down towards the mat, then just come up higher onto the shin. It's really important that we have straight, clean lines here. So it doesn't matter how far down you go, it matters if the lines are straight, right? Beautiful. You're going to bend the right knee, lower the left hand next to the right, and come to the toes of the back foot to what we call lizard pose, Uttan Kristasana. So for many of you, this will be enough of a stretch. You can stay here. We'll be here for about 3 or 4 breaths. You might lower the knee. You might go a little deeper and come all the way to the forearms. Just up to you. And then come on back up to the hands. And then you're going to adjust the hands and feet so that that right foot is sandwiched between the hands. Shift the weight into the right foot. Step the left foot next to the right and fold it in. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. We're going to shift the weight into the right foot. Really feel grounded in the 4 corners of that right foot. Big toe, pinky toe, inner outer heel, just like before. We don't want the toes to clench or grip, so just pick them up and they're there to help us with balance. Set them back down. Let's bring the hands to the hips to start. And as you shift the weight into that right side, go ahead and float the left knee out in front of you. So it's just like you're stepping on a step. Really slow the breath a bit. Find a drishti or a gaze that you can look at. So you're looking at something that's not moving. Use your left hand to guide that left knee open as far as you can to the left side, and then bring the sole of that left foot to the upper inner thigh of the standing leg. I'll turn this way so you can see me a little bit better. And then once you steady your balance, you can take any hand variation. So maybe the arms come down to the side body, maybe you grow your branches, reach the arms up overhead, whatever you like. Soften the shoulders, open the heart, and find that steady, even breath. Okay, a lot of work again. If the hands are reaching overhead, go ahead and lower them through heart center. You're going to bring the left knee out in front of you, pause, and then extend that leg long. Even if it's just for a breath, feel how strong you are. It takes so much work to do this. And then lower that left foot next to the right. Really nice work. All right, we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So you're going to step the right foot back to the back of your mat. It's going to come parallel. Left foot stays so that the toes are pointing to the front of your mat. You'll bend that left knee. right? And then the hips are going to be square to the long side of your mat. Be careful that this left knee doesn't cave in towards the center line. We want that like lined up, second toe, center of the shin, center thigh. Reach the arms long. Get as much space as you can from fingertip to fingertip. Drishti is out over the left fingers. Good. Soften the shoulders, find some ease in every space. Keeping the low body exactly as is, so it's nice and strong and powerful. Flip the left palm, lower the right hand down, reach the left fingertips up and over for reverse warrior. Viparita Virabhadrasana 2. This right hand can just slide down the leg. Some people like to reach for the top of the left thigh. It's a really deep stretch. Keep strong in the bottom body. Stay for your exhale. On your inhale, the arms come parallel to the floor. Straighten the left leg. Shift the left fingertips to the front of the room. And then hinge, coming to your Trikonasana triangle pose. Right, so to modify, you can use a block or a book at home, or just bring the hand up higher onto the leg. Right fingertips can reach up to the ceiling. Drishti can look up, or if that bothers the neck, look straight ahead. Beautiful. From here, you're just going to lower the right hand, bend the left knee, come to the toes of the back foot. So we're back into that lizard pose. You can stay up on the hands or lower to the forearms. You can keep that right knee hovering, or you can lower it to the mat. Couple of breaths here. See how you're doing with that Ujjayi breath. If it's gotten a little short or choppy, you might want to take a break in child's pose, or just bring some attention to it. See if you can bring length to the breath. If you're down in the forearms, come on back up to the hands, and again, switch the foot and hands so that that left foot is sandwiched between the hands. Shift the weight into the left foot as you step the right foot to match the left at the front of the mat and fold in. You'll inhale, come part way up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up, and exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll do that Vrikshasana or tree pose on the opposite side. So this time we'll shift the weight into the left foot as we slowly lift the right knee up out in front of us. Hands can be at heart center or on the hips, whatever you like. Try to soften the shoulders if you see them creeping up towards the ears. Drop them down, open the heart. Use that right hand to guide the right knee open to the right. Bring the sole of the right foot to the upper inner thigh of the standing leg. And then find your own beautiful expression. Maybe you raise the arms up overhead, just like you did on the other side. Maybe you bring the arms down, whatever you like. Just stay for a bit. So if you need to modify here, if you're really finding the balance really challenging, you can always go by a wall and use a wall for a little bit of assistance. You can also bring that right foot a little lower, more on the outside of the calf. You can even bring the toes down to the mat and just kind of cup that left ankle with the arch of the right foot. So decide what makes sense here. And then from here, bring hands back to heart center from whatever arm variation you've chosen. We'll bring the right knee out in front of us. Pause. Extend the right leg all the way out straight. See if you can hold that for a full cycle of breath. Again, noticing your strength and power. And with an exhale, we'll lower that right foot to match the left. Beautiful. Let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come part way up. And exhale, fold again. We're just going to bend the knees, come down to our tabletop that we were at earlier, and then cross the ankles and sit back onto your bottom. So we're in Sukhasana. We were there earlier. And let's take just a little stretch. So we're gonna keep the left leg straight, and just like we did in tree pose, you're gonna bring the right sole of the foot to the upper inner thigh of the left leg. Flex the foot on your left side so that engages that whole left leg. And then see if you can soften through the hips so that this right knee can release towards the earth, right? Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and with your exhale, forward fold. Just like we did when we were standing, you're going to inhale to come partway up, lift the heart, and then exhale, take the length with you as you deepen into your fold. Your drishti here is at that left big toe. Don't think about bringing the face down to the knee. Think about the crown of the head reaching for the big toe, right? Because we want to keep the length in the body. If you just bring your face to the leg, you'll find that you round a lot through the spine. We want to stay long. And then with your next inhale, go ahead, lift the torso, switch out the legs, right leg comes straight, bend the left leg, sole of the foot comes to the upper inner thigh of the right leg, flex that right foot so that the toes are reaching towards you. Really feel the strength and power in that right leg as it fires up, right? You may need to situate yourself through the sits bones so that you're not rolling off to one side or the other, that they're both grounded equally. Let that left knee soften towards the earth. On your inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Take that big breath. And with your exhale, fold forward. Think first the belly, then the chest, then the chin. Inhale for a little lift, reach the heart forward, get long in the spine, and exhale, take the length with you. Take note of any gripping, any squeezing in the body. If you notice that, see if with some intention and attention, if you can let that go. Loosen the grip. Lovely. And then go ahead, rise up. We're going to lower all the way down to our back. Coming to Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. So you're going to bring your legs straight. You're going to flex the feet. Toes, again, reaching towards my torso. Heels should be right up over the heel, or heels over the hips. So if you notice, it's more like this at an angle. See if you can bring them right up over the hips. Think about lifting the muscles of the pelvic floor and drawing the belly in so that we're engaged and kind of hollowing out through the core. And while there's a lot of strength and power in the legs, the torso, the neck, the shoulder, the face should be soft. There should be ease to balance out the strength of the bottom body. Good. Keep that long, slow, deep breath. You'll inhale, and with an exhale, go ahead and bend the knees. You're going to bring the arms out to a T, filling with an inhale. On an exhale, let the knees fall to the right as the gaze goes to the left. For a spinal twist, bring the gaze out over the left fingers and see if you can keep the left shoulder anchored into the earth. If you can't, maybe move the legs down away from you a little bit, and that should give you a little more space so that that left shoulder can stay rooted. Inhale the knees back through center, and exhale, let them fall to the left. Gaze will now go to the right. Taking note again of the shoulders. If we need to adjust the legs down so that that right shoulder stays grounded, do so. We'll inhale the knees back to center, taking Happy Baby and Anda Balasana. So you're going to bend the knees, reach for the big toes with the peace fingers, and draw those knees in towards the armpits as the soles of feet look like they're stomping on the ceiling. And then from here, just move back and forth like a silly, happy baby. Ananda Balasana. Beautiful. Bring the knees into the belly once more, interlace the fingers around the shins, and then we're all going to make our way to final resting pose, to Shavasana, right? This is where the real work begins. So bring the left leg towards the left front corner of the mat, the right leg to the right front corner of the mat. The hands come out alongside the side body with palms up again, receptive to feeling this energy we've created within us. And if we're practicing with others, with one another, palms up so that if we have extra, an abundance of energy, we can give. And if we're somewhat depleted, we can receive. Take a minute to make any adjustments that you need to, and then really ease your way into stillness and commit to that stillness. Things will come up. It might be in the form of an itch. It might be a desire to adjust your shirt or your pants. See if you can ignore the sensation to move and instead just be still. Many people find this pose to be the hardest because for many of us, stillness is hard. Once we get still in the physical body, the hope is that it transfers into the mental body, that slowly the thoughts slow down. We can find some stillness in the mind. Take just another moment in stillness. Might be the only opportunity you have all day to get quiet. This is where we really are able to hear what we need to hear, to sit with what we need to sit with. And then from this Shavasana space, slowly begin to bring awareness back into the body. And begin to move just sweetly. Bring in some movement, wiggling fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Take a full body stretch. So draw the feet together, reach the arms tall overhead. Get as long as you can. And then bend the knees into the belly and make your way off to the right side. So it's as if you're in a fetal position on the right side. You can use that right bicep as a pillow. Shavasana represents the depth of our practice on the mat, and this fetal position represents the rebirth of our practice off the mat. We don't leave the studio and leave the lessons of our practice. We take them with us. So take a moment and give thought to the pieces of the practice that you'll carry away with you. Maybe it is that flexibility of not only body, but of mind. Maybe it's a little more compassion. Maybe it's gratitude. Maybe it's strength, power. And then using your hands to help you, and if you can, keeping the eyes closed, make your way back up to Sukhasana where we started, that easy seat. So coming to the top of your mat with the legs crossed. Again, take a moment to feel the grounding of the sits bones. And And the lift, the rising through the belly, through the heart, through the crown. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Bring the palms to touch and bring the palms to heart center, but pausing first at the forehead, seeking clear, compassionate, loving thought. To the lips, seeking clear, compassionate, loving words. And to the heart, seeking clear, compassionate, loving action. Thank you so much for taking time to move, to breathe, to connect with me. It's always humbling and an honor to guide. I hope you have a beautiful day. Namaste. Shanti. Thank you. So again, I'm Christine. If you enjoyed that, I'd love to have you check out our studio, Muskegon Yoga Center. Lots of online options for you right now to stay healthy, physically and mentally. Love you all. Peace.
Our sponsor, Dagwood Auto Repair, is the place to go for your car's needs. Dagwood's has $15 oil changes, auto repair and inspections, new and used tires, and a shuttle service to drive you where you need to go while your car is in the shop. So if your car is making loud clunky noises or you just want to make sure everything is running smoothly, head on over to Dagwood's Auto Repair.
Next, from Duluth, Minnesota, we have the jazz ensemble, The Boys Back Home.
Action.
Our sponsor, Isabella Bank, is your one-stop shop for all your banking needs. From the comfort of your own couch, you're able to open a checking account and manage your funds via their online banking. They provide business, agricultural, and real estate loans. Their mission is to plan your financial future together, and as a local bank, they have your best interests at heart.
In the comment section below, please let us know what you think of these beautiful pieces of art.
This 12 by 12 canvas painting, created by Hannah Ardeline, retails for $10. The painting features vivid colors and unique texture. When I look at this painting, I'm reminded of the pictured rocks.
This lovely small painting by Hannah Ardeline features beautiful themes of blue, purple, red, and aquamarine, with added glitter. This painting's dimensions are 8 by 10 inches. This small painting, also by Hannah Ardeline, features beautiful cotton candy pastel colors with vivid texture. This painting is 8 by 10 inches as well. Both of these paintings are $10.
This 12 by 12 abstract painting, created by Hannah Ardeline, retails for $10. It is full of color and reminds me of a field of flowers bursting with life.
This 9 by 13 canvas created by Hannah Ardeline depicts what I would consider the melting pot of America. There is red, white, and blue swatches with all different colors mixed in between to create a beautiful masterpiece. This piece is on sale for $10. This 12 by 16 canvas, created by Hannah Ardeline, depicts a metallic river running through space and time. The color instills tranquility and calmness. This piece is on sale for $15.
Hannah Ardeline created this painting of a pink bike with some flowers, both blue and pink. It is approximately a 12 by 16 inch painting in size, which costs $15. And I find this very unique because it gives off a feminine vibe with the pink bike and the flower selection that she chose for colors. Hannah Ardeline created this painting of an orange bike with red and blue flowers. It is also a 12 by 16 inch photo, having it fall into the $15 category. I find this unique because it is done in gender neutral colors, making a great gift for anyone.
This painting was created by Hannah Ardeline, and it is on a 12 by 16 canvas, which will be a $15 painting, and it reminds me of a crisp December sunset in a field of trees. This painting was created by Hannah Ardeline, and it is on a 12 by 16 canvas, which will be $15. And this reminds me of the holiday mood and just the aurora borealis lights igniting the sky in the background.
Hi, my name is Kayla Fend, and today I'm going to be walking you through my watercolor coffee shop painting. I started out by printing out my reference photo. This is a coffee shop I went to in London last summer of 2019. I taped off just to get those clean edges. With watercolor, you always want to start with the lightest color and then work to the darkest. It's kind of a layering process. I started with a quick sketch of the coffee shop, making sure to outline my brick and the lines of the buildings and the letters on the board of the coffee shop. I liked this coffee shop in particular just because of the color of the building. It's actually a gentleman's coffee shop, but I wanted to go because they looked like they had good coffee and the color. I'm really particular about my palettes. I like deep colors. I started out with just the brick on the bottom by the doorway and then adding in the color of the actual building. As you can see, I layer with the darker colors and the details of the building and the sidewalk and the boards and everything like that. The figures are my hardest things that I do. but I actually think I did pretty well with him. I liked his fall style jacket. I went in and added some ink to just throw in those details, ripped off the tape here, and then these are my final photos. Thanks.
She can and can't do with her body, to roll back on transgender medical equality, than to look at our own country and see that we're killing ourselves. Our selfishness and greed, our need to be above, to boast and brag through loud voices that we're the best. But let me test your knowledge and humor me when I ask what America is number one in. Because it's not in education or healthcare or employment rates, it's in the dollars that our incarcerations make. We care more about filling prisons than filling jobs, where we rob teachers of their salaries and tell girls to eat more calories, but not too much, because then you'll no longer be a 10. We're divided and crude. We're more often rude to anyone and anything. And believe me when I say there is no chance to not pick a side. The gray area is no more, because that is treason and this is war. But for what? America? Let me say this as one girl's opinion. America is a wonderful place to be born in, but we have dug our own grave from the power we crave in the trench between our two sides. How can we be debating human rights as a country built on freedom and light, as a country built to defeat oppression? Because was it not Washington who said your union ought to be considered as a main prop of your liberty? He is the very thing we ignore and are too ignorant to explore, that a country united benefits all, and a country divided will most certainly fall. We are not an equal country when we can name off all who are no longer with the living in this past year alone, knowing that their bones are buried for nothing more than the melanin they carried in their skin. America, the great war zone under the watchful eye of the world, as their anxious voices hush and their toes curl, waiting to see what we'll do next. What pot we will stir, what thought we will make, when we should be focusing on how much more our public can take. Let me say this as one girl's opinion. America is a wonderful place to be born in, but let me be a voice for the public when I say we are tired of the shooting, the fighting, the rioting, the moving from one issue to another, having to constantly shout to be heard. So hear me now. Enough! End the oppression, the sexism, the homophobia, and the xenophobia, racism, and misogyny. End the hate and end the threats, end the neglect against our vets. Help the poor and mentally ill. Stop arguing and sign the bills that will guarantee all people are created equal. Sign what will say we can all have justice, because we all deserve life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
If one of these pieces caught your eye and you'd like to purchase it, please contact us. On Twitter, we are at CMU Saves Stages. On Facebook, we are CMU Saves the Stages Visual Arts and Music Festival event. Instagram, we are at CMU Saves the Stages, and our email is cmusavesthestages@gmail.com.
Our sponsor, the Bird Bar and Grill, is the place to be when you need a drink. They are open from 11:30 a.m. till 2 in the morning, Monday through Saturday. Their Thirsty Thursday drink specials are worth checking out. This American Bar and Grill has delicious food and fantastic prices on their food and drink. Head on downtown to the Bird and check them out.
To round out night one of CMU Saves the Stages, we have the Freezer Bees from Shelby Township in Detroit. This band is an indie alternative band, and we are very excited to share them with you.
I just woke up, I got bedhead. My head's pounding, but tonight I'm drinking again. I'm tired of waiting for the weekend. I lost track of the days, don't care anymore. lost track of the days. Ready and fire, need a revive, meet you at the front door. You will learn and meet you in bed, think we're gonna drink more. Keep it alive with the vibe, with the next drugstore. Pouring on the thing, nothing big when I'm there anymore. That night I pushed down on my skin, left a white mark in a thumbprint. Such a crazy thought, but you burn with your look. Well, that's just life for you, isn't it? Yeah, your heart's up, it's too rough. On the surface I'd say you're a star. Maybe you're choked up, if you're close up. I never thought I'd get this far. Ice cream skate is getting pretty thin. Should we try to reverse it and go for a swim? If you're cool enough that you're freezing for luck, well, that's just life for you, isn't it? Yeah, your heart's up, maybe too rough. On the surface I'd say you're a star. Maybe I'm choked up, if you're close up. I never thought I'd get this far. Feel like a sunburn. Your touch puts fire on my skin. And I'm sitting outside, no shade, waiting to take you for a spin. We were playing cards on the porch outside when I saw you coming home. You should put part of your lips on mine. Is that what you're looking for? So hard to sleep through the pouring rain. Sun'll come out tomorrow. Then what a crazy fun. Wait out the pain. Well, that's just life for you, isn't it? Yeah, your heart's stuck, maybe too rough. On the surface, I'd say you're a star. Maybe I'm choked up, getting close up. I never thought I'd get this far. Feel like a sunburn. Touch puts fire on my skin. And I'm sitting outside, no shade, waiting to take you for a spin. We were playing cards on the porch outside when I saw you coming home. You should put part of your lips on mine. Is that what you're looking for?
Thank you much. We appreciate you joining us for night 1 of CMU Saves the Stages. We hope we brought you some peace and serenity in these trying times and offered you entertainment with yoga, music, and art along the way. We will soon be sending out an email survey, so please fill that out and send that back to us. And don't forget to register for tomorrow's CMU Saves the Stages DJ night.